we've increased our power generation capacity, power generation capacity to about 435,000 megawatts, 436,000 megawatts, from almost about 200,000 megawatts. We've near about doubled that capacity, that power generation capacity. That required a lot of equipment, both thermal and renewable. We've added 200,000 circuit kilometers to the transmission line. Now, today, our transmission system is the largest integrated transmission system in the world, bar none, and it's one of the most modern. Now we can transfer 116,000 megawatts from one corner of the country to another. That's what we have done. Our government has done. That's what I have done. And all this requires equipment. Now I spent about 2 lakh crores during my tenure. I have already spent in constructing almost about 3,900, about 3,000 new substations, about upgrading about 4,000 substations, adding 8.5 lakh circuit kilometers of HT lines and LT lines, 7.5 lakh transformers. All this required equipment. And I'm still, and my expansion is going on. And I will double my size by 2030. I need to double my size by 2030 because that's the quantum of power which I need. My power demand has gone up by 60% from 2014, and I have met it. Last year it grew at 9%, and I have met it because of the capacity addition which I did, because of the transmission lines which I added, because of the huge number of substations which I created, and the huge number of substations which I upgraded, because of the HT lines and LT lines which I have added. But it is not enough, it is not enough. I have to keep adding it, I have to keep doubling all my sectors. And I am doing it. I am adding almost about 85,000 megawatts of thermal capacity. I have another 14,000 megawatts of hydro. Hydro was moribund before our government came to office. We restarted it. And now I have 14,000 megawatts under construction and about 15,000 megawatts under clearance. So that also will come on stream. That requires millions of tons of cement, millions of tons of steel, etc., everything. Now all this, we have invested already almost what my sector has invested 20 lakh crores. And in the next 5-7 years, we'll invest another about 17 lakh crores. That's what we are doing. And that requires manufacturing. Now we were alive to this. So we started early on. They are giving you a playing field where we protected you. So in 2018, I came out with a circular saying that every imported equipment would need to go through, strenuous tests. That was to make sure that the imported equipment took some time to get in. We have to follow the international law. So I did it all according to law, but nobody could stop me for testing for malware. So I issued a circular for that. For thermal equipment, we started the phased manufacturing program where we encouraged people to start manufacturing here. Now I again have to start it because in between, the world decided and we decided that we need to transition. So we started the transitioning at a rapid pace. We are a world leader in energy transition already. The pace of capacity addition of renewable energy in our country is the highest in the world. That's not me saying it. That's the International Energy Agency saying it. Today, my non-fossil capacity is about 186,000 megawatts. Out of which 7,000 megawatts is nuclear. Remaining is all solar, wind, hydro, all good. Now, all that required equipment. You are in a hurry? Not really. Because I have a lot to say. Yeah. So all that requires equipment, and I put in barriers to make sure that the outer, the external equipment does not come in. So phased manufacturing program, checks for cyber security, encouraging people to make in India. We came out with, let's take thermal. Let's go step by step. Thermal. So thermal, we phased manufacturing program. We built up capacity for manufacturing here. Then we transitioned. Then we started transitioning. We felt that we need not add more thermal capacity. So actually slowed down capacity addition. There was one more reason why the capacity addition slowed down, and that was because our discoms were not viable. The viability was an issue. We had, when I joined, I had about 60,000 megawatts which were on the sick bed. 60,000 megawatts of generation capacity was in NCLT. Today, all my companies have doubled, tripled their share prices. And their market cap has gone up 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. All my companies, public or private sector. That's how viable we have made it. We brought down the AT&C losses from 27% in 2014 to approximately 15%, and the next year it will be around about 12%. We made sure that all the states pay their subsidy on time. Whatever the subsidy bill is, that is paid on time. We've improved the billing efficiencies, collection efficiencies. We've improved it across the board, and we are still improving. We have made the sector viable. So investments have started coming. In between, that had stopped. So the manufacturing capacity died down. Now I am again having to restart the manufacturing capacity for thermal. Why? I am adding 85,000 megawatts, and I am going to add more. Why am I going to add more? Have I abandoned my transition plans? Yes, not abandoned, but I have made one pledge that I will not compromise on the availability of power for growth. For me, energy security is number one. Energy transition is number two. Although I am already a world leader in energy transition, mind you, and although my per capita emissions, our per capita emissions are 1/3 of global average, and energy transition is all about emissions, 1/3 of global average, and we are the only major economy which has achieved both its NDCs well before time. We had pledged that by 2030, we'll have 40% of our capacity coming from non-fossil sources. I achieved that target in 2021. Today, I have 43% of my capacity coming from non-fossil sources. We had pledged that despite our low emissions intensity, we'll reduce our emissions intensity by 33% by 2030. I achieved that in 2019. That's what we did, and that's how good we are. The only major economy which has done that. But again, I'll repeat it, for me, energy security is primary. And what happened was that when our economy started expanding in our government, the demand started increasing. There was a time when I had added so much capacity, I felt I was surplus. Now I am just on the edge. I am having to add more capacity. The demand started expanding. Now I had added lots of renewables, but the problem is you don't get the sun at night. You need power at night as well. And the wind blows sometimes, does not blow. Storage is expensive. Now all the developed world, despite lecturing the rest of the world about how necessary it was to reduce emissions and transition, had done nothing about it. If they were not serious about it, they have stopped. If they were serious about it, they would have added storage capacity, battery manufacturing. They did not do that. 80%, 85% battery manufacturing capacity is located in one country, that's China. And the price when I came out with the bid for storage was 10 rupees per kilowatt hour. 10 rupees per kilowatt hour, mind you. So that's just not viable. Storing 1 unit for 1 hour, 10 rupees, not viable. So I said that, okay, I need energy at night, so I'll add thermal. And I'll keep adding thermal till the cost of storage comes down. It is coming down. It is coming down because we are adding capacity. I'm going to come out with more bids. 4,000 megawatts of storage capacity I'm going to come out with. I have also started this pumped hydro. So I have almost about 50,000 megawatts of pumped hydro under different clearances. So the point is that we are growing. Similarly, renewables. The point is that we are growing, we are creating demand, and we want that demand to be met by made in India. So the manufacturing capacity which is required is huge. And I have already put in place the policy instruments for renewables. We put in place a tariff barrier of 40% on modules, tariff barrier of 25% on cells, so that you get protected. We also put quality barriers so that external manufactured equipment will take time to qualify. We put quality barriers as well. So we put all this. Now, as a result of that, manufacturing capacity has grown. Today, my module manufacturing capacity has gone up from 20 gigawatts, 20,000 megawatts to 50,000 megawatts. My cell manufacturing capacity was 2 gigawatts. Now it's, close to almost about 12, 13 gigawatts. They'll all get commissioned sometime in this year, in this calendar year. So our capacity is expanding, and we want that capacity to expand because we want our growth to be made in India growth.